I believe drums is serious business, right? You got to practice. You got to know your craft. You got to be learned. But at the end of the day, you got to enjoy yourself. And you got to love what you're doing. And that love has to translate. The people have to see that, right? Because we're artists, right? We're artists behind the artist. So you as a drummer, you're giving a show as well. So you got to give a show. And most of the time, if you don't love what you're doing, it's going to show. People are going to see it. You know what I mean? I always say that if this is the last time that I play drums, I want the people to say, when I saw him play for the last time, oh my goodness. He played like it was his last time. He played like he just put it all out there. Like, what in the world was wrong with him? You know what I mean? I want people to kind of have that, you know, like you enjoy me, but you kind of look at me sideways like, are you all right, bro? Like, you didn't have to beat the drums that hard. Like, what is into? But, you know, that's just my thing. When I get on them, I'm going to beat them, you know? I mean, within reason, you know, dynamics. I'm not going to overpower, but I'm going to put my thing on it, you know? I'm going to put my all in it. Like I said before, I love chops, right? So I'm going to give you the 4 keys to chopping. 4 keys to chopping. You ready? Put this in your mental note. Number 1, gotta always be aware of the 1. Right? The most important number for a drummer is always the 1. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Everything always comes back to the 1. If you don't come back to the 1, everybody's in trouble. The show is over. So I'm the artist, right? I'm singing. Band is behind me and everything. You always want this look, right? Artist is singing, drummers over there. You want this look right here. You never want this look. You never want to get that side eye, right? The quickest way to get the side eye is to miss the 1. If you're practicing with a metronome, you know, you got the metronomes 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, got the lady counting in there. Those are awesome. While you're working out your chops, you always want to know where that 1 is. That 1 is, that's the most important part of your chop. It's the 1, right? Number 2 is dynamics, right? So it's the difference between this. Same note value. Right there, it just became music. As soon as you put the dynamics in there, the ups and the downs, the hards and the softs, that's when it became music. Not to say that one way is better than the other, because there is none of that. So for the chops that I'm doing, the dynamic is key, right? Right? You hear the difference? Right? As opposed to both are awesome, but one is just a little different. Right? Yeah. You want that? Number 3. You want to mix it up, all right? Call this mix it up. So you take your 3 favorite licks. What you want to do is you want to practice integrating all 3 of them until it feels like just what's that one lick you were doing? People will walk up to you and say, what's that one lick? You say, it wasn't just one lick. It was a bunch of licks all rolled up into one, but you couldn't really tell because with the dynamics, with everything going into it, you know what I mean? So let's see. Right? And we'll take this. Right? We'll take this. Right? So, what did I say? Did you see where they were going in? For a minute, it just sounded like, and it's like, what's that thing that you're doing? Like, for me, I don't really like extremely run-on, repetitive chops, you know. Right? It's dope, shows your facility, right? But for me, the music comes in when you're switching it up, right? So you got. Right? Easiest way to switch it up, just to move the drums. So you're doing the same rudiment, right? Try to flip it up. It's the same thing, but something different. You know what I mean? Move your limbs around. Get them moving. Don't don't get stuck here. You know what I mean? You gotta mix it up because that's where the mystery comes in. When you're moving your arms around and they're saying, "Wow, what is he doing?" And then I say, "This is it." And they're like, "What? That's it?" I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, wherever your arms want to go. You know what I mean? I mean, you gotta make sure it makes sense. You know, don't do no craziness. But within reason, you know, allow your creativity to come out. Don't get stuck on just. That's dope, right? But now let's throw a hi-hat in there. Let's throw the ride cymbal in there. Same lick. Let's make it a groove. You know what I mean? Now you freaking Benny Caliuta. You know what I mean? Off of that. Simple. It's right there. You already know how to do it. Don't limit yourself just to be right here. Get out of there. Like one day, just close your eyes and just see where the sticks land. Right, I'm not even hitting cymbals no more. Just as drummers, we sometimes have to get ourselves out of the box, right? So every time you crash on the one, or every time you land on the one, it's a crash, right? For the most part, right? Why? That was the one right there, too. That felt kind of good, would you say? You know? After that, you're probably looking for it. That's what we typically do. We hit that one, which is a good thing. But every so often, flip it up. You can hit the kick and the toms at the same time. It sounds groovy. Most times we think linear, right? Right? We think linear. Very rarely do we think that's kind of nice. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm not showing you anything that you may not already know, but it's just a different perspective, you know? Most of you have probably played a groove similar to that before in your life, right? Throw that kick on there. See how much bigger that just got, right? So think out the box, be creative, move the drums around, mix it up, right? Number 4, conviction. It doesn't have to do with the technique of how you're playing it, but it has to do from where the lick is coming from, right? The heart, the conviction, the feel, right? It's the difference between and I try not to make it a volume thing because most of the times it's not necessarily playing louder, but it's just, it's your confidence in what you're playing, right? So a lot of times you'll see a drummer and you're like, okay, I see where you're going. As opposed to right? Conviction will mask the lack of technique, right? So let's say you got 3 good licks, and that's what you're going to every day, right? Right? If that's your lick, you play that thing like that's not your only lick. You play it like it's your favorite lick. It's different, right? It's not that I'm limited. It's that I love this lick. I'm going to play it as much as I can because this is the one that I love the most. Your conviction will tell the listener whether it's your only lick or it's your favorite lick, right? You want to play it? That was the same lick. I just played it 4 different ways. Did you see that? That was the exact same lick. I could probably play it 4 more different ways. But because I'm so convicted by it, I can go wherever I can. Same vibe, right? Same sticking, same musical suggestion, but just flipping it up and you playing it like, that's my favorite. I don't care about no other type of deal, right? That is very important. It's very important that you play with conviction. I think one of the most convicted drummers, I guess I'll say it like that, the drummer with the most conviction, right, is Gad. Right? Gad will sit here and, right, and then towards the end, he's like, that head get this on right here. Right? Now, somebody will go out there and be like, man, that's his only lick. He play it on every record. He play it everywhere. And Gad is like, I'm Steve Gadd. Who do you think this is? But that's more than likely, that's just his favorite lick. That's just what gets him going. And he plays it so masterfully, right? It's a simple lick, but when you hear Gadd do it, as opposed to somebody else, it's like, oh, that's Gadd. Right? Because he has the conviction. He made it his. So the thing is, when you're playing it, at some point in time, you want to make it your own. You're going in your practice. You gotta make sure whatever you're playing, you gotta land back on that one, right? Some of the stuff that we can do, it can get confusing. The one can get lost, right? You know. That one gotta come right back to it, you know. One thing I always say is when you're soloing, especially if you're in a show set, when you're soloing, and before your solo, the audience members are going like this, right? If after your solo, they're looking like this, that means somewhere in there, the one got away, right? And depending on your crowd, you know, everything is always subjective. It depends on who you're playing to. But for most of the time, when I'm trying to solo, it happens sometimes it doesn't. Right? But I want the people to always do that, right? I want that thing to stay right there, you know? I never want to get off into super technical mode unless I'm sitting in front of a bunch of drummers, right? Right? When I'm on a show, I'm not experimenting. Everything I'm playing, I've played a bunch of times already. So it may seem random and super creative, but it's not. All right, I'm done. Thank you.